There are many methods to voice one's displeasure when debating with someone else. Whenever these methods of communication develop into an enraged and vindictive tone, arguments frequently escalate into violence. Most people commonly allow their ego to take the lead, making them say things that only harm the opposing party. On the other hand, other individuals face disagreements emphasizing communication and reconciliation and are much more apt to have fruitful, free conflict interactions. In dialogues and disputes, Sigma guys can engage in a way that makes them come out on top, thanks to their distinctive internal and interpersonal abilities. Sigma guys tend to be alone, yet they are typically highly skilled at conversation. This video will cover the practical methods Sigma males employs to prevail in disputes. Before we dive in, kindly support us by subscribing to the Untamed channel. At the end of the video, leave a like and comment. 1. Paying attention. A Sigma man does not have the urge to rule any encounter. They typically use restraint in their social interactions and are cautious and analytical. They are outstanding listeners since they like to focus on logic and facts. The Sigma always want to be sure they fully understand other individuals' views before dissecting them. During an argument, an individual who pays close attention is more likely to determine any weaknesses or inconsistencies in the opposing person's ideas, which they could then use to support their viewpoint. Fortunately, the Sigma has mastered this art of social interaction. 2. Deliberation before talking. The Sigma's introverted tendencies have several benefits, one of which is his capacity to remain silent when it matters most. When psychological emotions are allowed to cloud rational judgment, which the lone wolf usually resists, the outcome is typically reacting without thinking. Even when a discussion becomes an exchange of personal jabs, Sigma men may maintain their intellectual understanding to ensure they always think before speaking. They cannot make statements they will ultimately have to refute thanks to this ability, which keeps their argument's logical basis solid and undamaged. 3. Maintaining composure. Arguments become confrontations when people lose their composure and immediately take criticism personally. Sigma guys can see the limitations of the situation at hand and avoid falling into the trap of becoming agitated toward their opponents. They are very adept at maintaining composure under pressure, which makes them valuable in an emergency and a formidable adversary in a conversation. 4. Being respectful. One of the most understated but crucial strategies Sigma guys prevail in arguments is by retaining respect for one another in a conversation. Sigmas are aware that disrespecting or being nasty to their opposition does nothing. It just serves to alienate other people, and Sigma guys are aware that respecting them is a way to get them to end the argument without being persuaded. By respecting and acknowledging his opponents, he is more likely to convince them to concur with the final result. 5. Asking questions. Many think acknowledging their point of view is the only important thing in an argument. Most people are unaware that a discussion is a form of trade. The parties must discuss and comprehend all pertinent points to convey ideas and information. People who make assertions and won't engage in dialogue are constrained in their ability to comprehend and discredit their opponent's viewpoints. Sigma guys knowing how to pose questions often help them find holes or inconsistencies in other people's ideas. 6. Putting logic ahead of feelings. Although they may seem persuasive, emotional arguments rarely get individuals to alter their opinions. Sigma guys understand that they must use reasoning, not emotion, to convince others of their viewpoint. They are especially good at concentrating on justifying their beliefs, even when the situation is emotionally charged. Sigmas remain composed and stick only to the facts when the challenger uses emotional arguments. 7. Staying away from conflict. When two aggressive or emotional people argue, the conflict usually degenerates into a fight after the assault. Sigma guys are aware that fighting is exhausting and serves no use for either side. As a result, They will maintain their composure to keep emotions down and focus only on making the conversation amicable and productive instead of getting sucked into a dispute. The possibility that they will ultimately defeat their adversary rises because of their more effective flow of thoughts. 8. Avoiding a condescending attitude. Most people do not view society with the same social hierarchy views as Sigma guys. The lone wolf does not consider others as mere tools for achieving an end. This is because they don't conform to the social dominance system and depend solely on themselves to find their position in the world. It enables them to view everyone equally rather than as a position in the social framework. Because of their egalitarian mindset, Sigma males might view all persons as being on an equal footing in a quarrel. Furthermore, condescending language in an argument seldom elicits positive responses, thus, Sigmas benefit significantly from it. 9. Recognizing motives. Sigma men aren't content with having a surface-level relationship with others. They strongly desire to grow in their knowledge and truly understand what is happening. Therefore, Sigma males probe more than their adversary's superficial points while engaging in debate. They use their abilities to observe and analyze to discern their opponent's motives. By identifying the purpose underneath an opposing argument, like the desire to appear ethical or expressing their intellect, Sigmas may construct their reactions to support their position without jeopardizing their opponent's intentions. 10. Controlling oneself. When two people argue casually, the conversation can occasionally go from the original area of contention to another set of problems. Sigma guys obsessively focus on their conversation and understand the pointlessness of letting an argument diverge. They maintain control over the dialogue to ensure everyone stays on track so that a solution can be reached. These are just a few ways Sigma males wins arguments. Share with us some of your thoughts about the subject. Are the Sigma ways of winning arguments familiar with you? Perhaps you are one of the rare male archetype.